everyone, welcome to the call tonight. I'm excited because I've been doing a little bit of learning over the last few months, and it's been really interesting stuff I haven't heard of before. And yeah, Gail's been showing me a bit of it and pointing out a bit of it, and it's actually made quite a big difference to how I even look at myself and what I do and what personality I am and why I do the things I do and things that I need to drag in to be able to do other things. So I know she's going to be able to explain this a lot better. But I think once we get this, we can understand ourselves better. We can understand people that are even in our team better and how they operate, because people operate so differently. We're not all the same. And yeah, it's really interesting stuff. So when I talked to Gail about it, she'd actually done a lecture on it as well when she was going all around the world doing all these amazing things. And I thought, wow, this would be quite a neat thing for us to learn. It may be something that you've learned already, but I think it's quite a good thing that we can bring into our personal lives and our business. And just, yeah, it's really interesting. So so Gail, thank you so much for doing this call tonight. And I know that this will be, yeah, like I say, the word interesting again, but it will be. It really will be. So take some notes, because once you see it, you can look at a person and go, oh, that's their personality. Okay, so that's how they tick. So if I say something I'm going to say now in the way that I would, it won't resonate with them. So it's really interesting. It's good stuff. So thank you, Gail. And yeah, please teach us more.
Let's go. I'll just share my screen so that we can get all on the go here. I can't see much more than that, so I'll rely on Kelly to tell me what's going down. So anyway, a number of years ago, when I was doing business mentoring, I was basically forced into learning about this and the different personalities. I mean, we're all different. And right at the beginning, I don't want you to think that you're all in a little box and that's just who you are, just that little tiny box, because that's not necessarily so. We really, as I will show you near the end, we really need to be a rainbow. That's the best way to be, is to be rainbowish. And so I don't want you all just to say, oh, I'm this, or I'm none of these, or I'm this and I'm this and I'm this. And that's the ultimate, is to become like that. And especially in our business, we meet so many different kinds of people. And of course, in our world today, where we say we're boundaryless, you know, there's no boundaries. We're all over the world. Even in New Zealand and Australia, you know, there's so many different kinds of people group that it can be quite different. And so you have to take that in consideration as well. But I think it's really important that this is a good starting point for all of us. And I know that as Kelly has learnt this stuff and she goes, I've worked that person out, or I know why that person reacted in that particular way because of their personalities. Now, I believe that when we are born, we you know, you just look at this little tiny person and you can look at them and say, oh, what a cheeky little thing this one is, or, oh, such a smiley one, and this one's very quiet, and this one sleeps all night. Oh no, that's right, that doesn't happen, does it? We're all kind of, you know, we look at this little child, and as we go through this, you'll be able to say, oh, this all makes sense. So, without further ado, really, we'll get into it. And as I say, I don't want you to think I've put you in a box, because none of us should be in one particular box, but we all have one of these very strongly in our lives. Sometimes things happen when you're younger and they can alter it a bit, but as you come back and you sort your life out, even if it takes 60 years, you will fit strongly into one of these personalities. So let's go through it. know who you are. Quite important to know who you are in this way, and then you can work better with other people. Oh, now let's just see why this is not working. Ah, there we go. So we have the different personality types, and you would have all heard of them, I am sure. There's sanguine, and I'll explain in a minute why I don't use these words. I'll explain that in a minute. So we have sanguine, we have melancholy, we have phlegmatic, and then we have choleric, or however you want to say it. People say it different ways. So there's sanguine, just remember the colours: sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic, and choleric. All right. Now, as you can see by the colours, it kind of gives you an idea of the personality type. So that's the personality types. Some people say there's 8 and some people say there's 10. That just gets way too confusing. And really, when you get more than 4, it's really just a mixture of these 4. So we've got sanguine, and we're going to talk tonight about colours rather than names. And the reason being, I can't spell it sanguine. I mean, who can spell sanguine? I mean, how would you know how to spell that? Someone said what personality in you, and you had to write down sanguine, you'd probably get it wrong. And you'll know what personality I am very soon by just the comments I make. So the sanguine equals blue, all right? And then we've got melancholy. That equals the yellow colour. Then we have phlegmatic, green. And then we have choleric, which is red. All right. So I want you to remember those. And as we go through the colours, we're going to talk, as I say, about the colours rather than the sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic. I mean, how would you know how to spell phlegmatic? I mean, really? What kind of word is that? So both Kelly and I, we'd probably have struggled to remember phlegmatic, wouldn't we, Kelly?
I'd struggle to spell it, it's for real.
So, why we need to know this? Well, there's lots of reasons why we need to know this. And one of the big things is to help us to understand people's reactions towards us. Now, whether you're married or whether you're in a relationship, a friendship, I don't know, parents towards children, parents towards teenagers, all these kind of things. This is all helpful in all these situations, and certainly when you're in a network marketing, MLM, all that, because we meet so many different kinds of people. So this is really helpful in every aspect of your life. So being aware of different personalities helps you when people might snap at you or say something to you and you just go, "Ooh, where did that come from?" And sometimes, you know, in a stressful situation, people react in different ways. And so it's good to know and understand what these are all about, how it will affect you in all you do. And it also helps you work out what personality type you are, which is quite interesting. It'll be interesting at the end of tonight if you can work out what you are. Just remember, I'm not putting you in one box and just saying that's you. So red, blue, green, yellow, perfect, lovely group of colours. So we're going to go through them now. Just before I do, I'm going to run this past you. It's a little test. And the interesting thing is, I'm going to get you to look at this, and this will identify a lot of you and your personality types. Because after you've been through this, you're going to either go, that was annoying, why didn't you just get on with it? You see, and that will speak immediately to the kind of personality type that you are. And others will go, oh, this requires quite a bit of time for me to work this out. That will also speak to the kind of personality. And another personality will go, oh, this is so much fun. Oh, this is cool. I don't know the answer, but man, this is good. Get the other one and go, oh, come on, really? So it'll be really interesting. So this is critical thinking skills. Now I want you to just read it and let's work it out together. So first question, how do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? Well, the correct answer is you open the refrigerator door, put the giraffe in, and you close the door. Not that difficult, right? Not that difficult. This question tests whether you tend to do simple things in an overly complicated way. Next one is, how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? And I know what you're all thinking. Oh, that's easy. Open the refrigerator door and take out the giraffe, remember? Put the elephant in and then close the door. This tests your ability to think through the repercussions of your previous actions. They would just open the door and put it in, but you've already got a giraffe in there, remember? So take the giraffe out, then put the elephant in and close the door. This will be interesting if you want to put something in the comments section at the end, see how you went. Next one is critical thinking skills. The Lion King is hosting an animal conference and all the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend? Anyone work it out and can put it in the comments? The Lion King's hosting an animal conference, all the animals attend except one. Which one does not attend? Anyone put an answer in there? Well, we'll go to the answer.
Well,
the correct answer is the elephant. The elephant's still in the refrigerator, remember? You just put him in there.
Yeah.
This tests your memory. So one more chance. There's a river you must cross, but it is used by crocodiles and you do not have a boat. How do you manage it? Have a think. The correct answer is you jump into the river and swim across. Have you not been listening? All the crocodiles are attending an animal meeting. This tests whether you learn quickly from your mistakes. Now,
oh my goodness,
it's just an interesting little test because, as I say, some will go, oh, well, that was just dumb. That was stupid. Others will think that's fun and funny. And and some will think, well, that was really cruel, putting the elephant in the refrigerator. And so each personality will have their take on this. That's very interesting as you think about it. So, as you say, the sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic, and cleric, or red, blue, green, and yellow. Right, let's get into it. So, we're going to look at the reds to begin with. We had some folks staying with us. Red, just let me say this, so being a red personality is not one that's quite sought after. We need them. We need a red. But anyway, I had these friends, they stayed with us for a bit while they were getting ready to move to Australia. And one day she said to me, we were talking about this, and she said, what do you think I am? And I said, you're definitely a red. She didn't talk to me for 2 days. It was so funny. And then another person who's quite close to me said, what personality am I? And I said, well, actually, you're a red, but be proud of that because you're quite a nice one. Well, they just burst into tears. They just thought, I don't want to be a red. But we need the reds in the world. And you can think of one particular world leader right now who's probably fits into this right up front. So let's get into this. So a red personality, please remember, it's not exactly in a box. So you might say, well, I'm quite red, but I'm I've got a couple of these that aren't me. So, just watch it, learn. Because you will find some reds around who are absolutely red, and everything that is here is exactly them. So anyway, their pace is fast and decisive. We have friends who run they've sold it now, but they ran this huge company, multi-million-dollar company, and they were boom, boom, boom. Time they knew where they were going. They went fast. Their decisions were fast. They spoke fast. Everything was like a whirlwind all the way around them all the time, and they'll do anything to save them time. If that means they have to employ 3 or 4 people to get the job done, they'll get it done. It'll be done. And you can say to them, can you do this? And it'll be done. It'll probably be done before it's actually come out of their mouths. That's, that's what they want. And they hire those kind of people around them. They totally want to be in control. Totally want to be in control. If you want to help them, well, it could be quite painful. It is quite painful if you are not a red to be working with a red. It can be very painful because they're they can be quite bullying-ish. I don't think they mean to be in most cases. They're very, very focused on where they're going. They like people to be blunt and to the point, really blunt and to the point. Do you like this? If you stand around going, they don't want that. They want, no, I don't like it at all. And this is the reason why. You'd be boom, boom, boom. And so this is why I'm telling you this, because when you are working with people of all these different kinds of personalities, this will be so helpful to you. You will come across a red, and as we go through the reds, you'll go, oh, now I know how to deal with them. They want the facts, they want them now, they want them quick, they don't want to muck around, just tell them the facts, straight up. Blunt and to the point. And as I say, being in control, being in charge is their superpower, it's their specialty. They're in charge and they're good at it. Their strengths, they're natural born leaders in most cases. And some people look at their little children as they grow up and they go, man, they're just born leaders. People follow them everywhere. And so they're natural born leaders. They are powerful and they take control. You may think of some in your life, some of these people in your life right now, and you'll go, oh, they're a red. So watch this. They're goal orientated and they take risks. They will just be out there all the time and they will. This is where they're going. And if they have to step on top of you to get to where they're going, they jolly well will. And if you're in the way, they will walk right over you because that's just what they do. But what you have to understand is that that's them. Yes, they could mellow a bit, but they are focused on where they're going, what they're going to do. They see the end result. Way there, they see it. They've already seen it. They've lived it. They've probably journaled it, that it's happened. And they are there, and they're going to get there no matter what. So whether you follow them, whether you walk beside them or run behind them, they're going to get there. And that's all this. They're independent and self-sufficient. They're independent to a point, but they still need a bit of a team around them. But the team around them have to be strong people, otherwise they'll cry. At the end of the day, they'll go home and cry, just because perhaps the way they've been treated. Because they can appear bullyish. Here's their weaknesses. They can procrastinate. After me saying, they go for a goal, but they can, when they've got to their goal, they don't know what to do. And so they're busy looking around, or what's the next thing? And that's why people do this shiny red object thing. They might get, I don't know, let's just say in our business, they might get to 6A2, and then they go, well, I made that. That was easy. Now what do I do? And so they sit around, they procrastinate, I don't know what to do, or how do I get to the next one? And so sometimes they lose that drive. And so they can procrastinate and argue. Oh, yes, they can be very argumentative because they're right. There ain't nothing you can say to them, brother or sister, even if they're wrong, right? It's hard work. They're unsympathetic often, they're rude and they're pushy. I'm talking about a true red, one that's got no rainbow. They are red. And they are often the bullies at school. And it's quite sad. But anyway, stubborn, short-tempered. They do have some good traits. You can see why my person didn't talk to me for 2 days and why the other one burst into tears. But they're stubborn and short-tempered, impatient and too domineering. I'm sure you all know these people around in your life, or you've met them in business, or if you work in retail, you've met them and they just walk into the shop and you just want to hide because there ain't nothing you can do to help them out. They like a good challenge, and as I've said, they like to be in control. And we need these people. We do not want to get rid of reds. We just want them to tone it down a bit. The rest of us aren't red. So we just want them to tone it down a bit. They like a good challenge. They love being in control. I'm
laughing at the comment. Sorry, Gail.
Oh, that's all right.
Saying you're killing me, Gail.
They like things that can make them money, and that's why I say they're the shiny red object people, because they're leaders and they take people with them. They see a shiny red object, they're procrastinated, they don't know what to do next, and they get a bit lost, and so they go after the red object. And because they're leaders, they can take whole thousands of people, as you can see, all the way through network marketing companies, all through, years and years of it. This is what happens. They've got big teams and they're in control, and they can take all these teams away. So they're always looking for something that will make them money or make them better off, more powerful. They like to lead. They like to stress a bit. Yep, give me a bit of stress, keep that adrenaline going. Gives me more power, makes me good. So I like a bit of stress, and power works best. Give me the power, baby. Like to be connected to important people too. And you can see that with some of the people. They go, oh, yeah, but I know. Oh, yeah, yeah. And they seek out those important people. I think I'm a bit of weird because, you know, over my life I've thought, I want to follow that person. I want to follow that person. And, you know, they've been at the top of their game. Anyway, let's get on to their dislikes. Small talk, they hate it. If you are working with a person you think's pretty red, and you can tell them because they're loud and noisy and they like to be in control and all that, don't talk small talk with them. You know, just go, lovely day, isn't it? And they go, yeah, what do you want? So work them out a bit, you know. They're not followers and they don't like time wasters. Oh my goodness, don't even think about it. Oh, I've been caught up with many a red. Oh, don't waste their time. Don't like to stop and smell the roses. That's difficult as grandparents because it's all right today because they'll work away in their office and all the grandchildren will be sitting there on devices, and that's wonderful. The days gone by when they used to have to go for walks with the grandchildren, it was, come on, hurry up. And the kids saying, but I want to pick up. No, you can't pick the stone up. No time for that. So, and their dislike is also, they don't really like being too affectionate. Now, some of them do, depends. And crying, well, certainly not in public. So being affectionate or crying in public is a little bit, we don't do that because that means they're not in control, perhaps. Not sure why. So that's a red. And we love the reds. We just got to learn how to work with them. Because the next three colours, the reds need the three colours under them. They absolutely and utterly do. And we need the reds, so we have to work out how to work with them. Their occupations, top level executive, they have to be. They'll never make it otherwise. Or when you see the other personalities, you go, they're not going to work. So military leaders, often prime ministers, say that our particular prime minister is particularly red. But anyway, yeah, so up there in the lead. They are excited about action. I'll just have to move one. There we go. So they're excited about action. Give me action. We've already spoken about that. Their fears, being hustled and being soft. Don't want to be seen as soft. Don't want to be hustled. Strives for results and productivity, and that's why we need them, because we need these people to get us to where we need to go. So it's very important to have that there. Decisions are quick and decisive, and we all need to have some red. We definitely need red, especially in this business. We do need it. And many a times I've said to Kels, you need to get your red on there, girlfriend. Just get your red on in some situations. So just get your red on. Not so much in the team, but just stuff that's happening. So, yeah. Sometimes you just got to get your red on, baby. All of us. Some people have put out, you know, we've got the red, the names, the sanguine, etc., and then the colours. And then some people go, well, I don't really want the colours. I want to be an animal. You can tell which minute you're about to tell which personality thought up the animal side of things. So reds are often associated with these animals. It says it all, really. So, you'll work out soon when I get to the rest of them what personality probably thought of all this. So it's really quite funny. Now we come on to the blue personalities, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick these out, especially within the team. So anyone here red, we just want you to know we love you. The comments funny, are they, Kels?
Oh, no. Paulie's just saying, is that the same as doing your paddy?
Oh, dear. So anyway, the blue personality. Now, what happens is you have, this is how they work out, in a box, right? So we have red and blue at the top and yellow and green at the bottom. So the idea is to go opposites. That's the ideal. So you have a red personality and say either a green, well, it's usually a green. Red and green go well together, and blue and yellow go well together, and you'll see why. So, as I say, the idea is to be the rainbow. But anyway, if you can't be a rainbow, you can be part of it. So a blue is a little bit like a red. It's the pace of a blue. I'm looking at Gail because she's quite blue. Is fast and spontaneous.
Don't you be telling my personality traits on here, girl. You just keep to the facts.
Yeah. I was just watching your smile on your face. That was all. The pace is fast and spontaneous with the blue personality as well. And I think this is true of most people, but however, blues stand out more in this. They want to be noticed and admired. Likes people to be fun and exciting. So if you're around a true blue, and you might be in a cafe and there's a whole group of you there and you're sitting and having coffee, if you've got a true blue in the group and they hear someone laughing over there, they're just going to be going, excuse me, and they'll want to go and find out what everyone's laughing about, especially if you're not laughing. So they'll want to go over there and find out what's going on. It's not being nosy, it's just that there's something over there more exciting than what's going on over here. So it's if you're in a board meeting and you're a blue and it's very boring in your board meeting, they will be bored and they will be looking for something exciting and something funny to even if they draw funny pictures and make them laugh and hope that make everyone else laugh. That's what a blue will do. So networking is their specialty, and so that's why we need the blues. They're very, very, very good at networking, extremely good. They love the people, they get out and they do their thing. I think our island people are very good at this too, aren't they? They're very good at networking and amongst their family. They laugh a lot from what I've seen, and so maybe you're all blue islanders. It's wonderful. Monotonous effort is the key. Oh, I might have missed the word out. They don't like monotony. That's the word, isn't it? Yes. So, yeah, don't be boring. Their strengths: enthusiastic, optimistic, persuasive, and motivating. Who wouldn't want to be a blue, eh? Imagine a blue and a red together, the same personality together, strong at the same person with blue and red. You'd be exhausted being around. So the blue is just enthusiastic, optimistic, persuasive, and motivating. Wonderful, wonderful traits to have in your personality. Life of the party, yep. And if someone else isn't being the life, they will be. Refreshing, bubbly, and funny. Now, why wouldn't you follow someone like that? I mean, they're amazing. Convincing, animated, and excellent promoters. Just everything about a blue's great, well, except a couple of things. They have to socialise, very flirtatious, playful. I just thought I'd throw that in, but it's true. And whether they mean to be or not, it's just because of their personality, and that's the thing. And that's what blues have to be very. It's also it's a weakness too. So it's strength, but it's also a weakness. People like being around people like this, especially when life is getting difficult and hard and things are hard. So,
Paulie,
stop it, baby.
Sounds like cows, she said.
Weaknesses.
I'll tell you that much.
Weaknesses. They talk too much before thinking, and it's something that when you know you're a blue, you think about. You go, okay, I need to alter that. I talk too much. That's okay. But I need to think, and this is something that I've had to learn as well. Disorganised in an organised fashion, and that's what I love about it. So I always used to say that, yeah, I'm disorganised, but it's organised disorganisation. I know exactly where everything is, and I'm ready to go. It's just disorganised in an organised fashion. So that's blues for you. Tendency to exaggerate, and poor at saving. That's because they try to save the world, take everyone out for coffee and have fun. You know, it's got to have fun. Got to go to the spa. Got to go and have a massage. Or got to go and just got to go shop. Got to do something exciting. But they're funny because they do exaggerate. See, I'm partly blue, so I know this. And the other funny thing about a blue is they'll start off to tell you a story. Have you ever met these people? They'll start off here telling a story, and then they'll go, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, but on the way of doing this, I'll come back to that later, and on the way this happened, and then something else, and then you're like, here's the story over here, and you're way over here somewhere. It's, what happened? And that's what it's like being with the blue. And when you go home at the end of the day, you go, I wonder what happened at the beginning of that story she started, he, she, or he started to tell me. And then you ring them up and say, hey, you started to tell the story, but you never told the end. That's the funny thing about a blue. Forgetful scatterbrain. It's funny that, a bit poor at follow-up because the party's been. So, you know, they've come in, they've done the water trial, they've been and visited you, you've had fun, and they didn't sign up right then and there at the end of the water trial, and so you're going to go, oh, well, I've got a new person now I can have fun with. So the follow-up sometimes gets forgotten, and so you can see why it's important that if you can afford it, you have a few different people working with you so that they pick up where you don't. And that's what the good thing is. If you can't afford someone to do that, then you have to be a rainbow. You just have to be. Likes. If it's not fun, why do it? True. Party and have a good time, being in the spotlight, things like that. That's all fun for a blue. Like testimonials. Wow. And they get the big picture. And it's great to be around a blue. Like excitement and like to dream. I had a friend who was also blonde, and so I can say that because she used to say that. She'd go, oh, I'm a blue blonde, not the colour of her hair. She was blue and she was blonde. Scatterbrain. Oh, man. She'd start to tell a story, and, you know, an hour or so later, you're still waiting for the end of the first story. She hasn't got there because she's gone around the mulberry bush. It's so hilarious. Look, if you have to sell to a blue, just have fun. Enjoy every moment of it because it's fun. It really is. Their dislikes. Boring, technical, logical, details aren't liked. So if you're trying to sell to a blue, don't go into all the water technology stuff. You know, just wait for them to ask the questions. They don't want to know. You know, once you tell them and they try the water and it's cool, they're going to buy it. You know, oh, let's party on the water. And they'll be with it. So don't go too much into it, especially if they're a real blue, just true blue, man. Then, you know, you'll work it out. Don't think this is all hard because it's not. You'll work it out. You will. They're just like anyone or anything that takes away the fun isn't liked. So, you know, if people are all having a party and someone comes and says, turn that down, it's too loud. Think of your teenagers. They're just going to go, that wasn't fun. Don't like to be alone. They do like the company of other people, and you know, don't like rigid rules. Also, people blues are like blues are not very good at surveys that are just yes and no, because to a blue there's no yes or no. It's just a big party. So hopeless surveys if it's a yes and no thing. I've had so much fun with people ringing up, you know, asking all these questions. I remember one when they wanted to know, they were doing one on washing powder, and there was Drive and there was cold water surf, and, you know, how often do you buy cold water surf? Well, I said, as long as it's on special. That's not the thing. Do you buy it once a month or do you buy it twice a month? Well, I only buy it when it's on special. She was on that call for an hour. I just had so much fun. Just like systems, I actually love systems now, and that's a part of me that I've let go is just the total blue. I've had to bring in other types, as you will see, because systems are, in our business, we need systems. And a drawn-out process with that girl on the phone for an hour, it was because I just made it so much fun for me. It wasn't fun for her, but, man, I laughed. I just had so much fun. It's just so much fun. Operations, entertainment and sales. Probably a few other things as well, but yeah, they just like to be in entertainment sales. You'll find some of them, but not many of them in the, what do you call it, industry, you know, the cafes and stuff like that. So you might find them in there. It's very few, but when you find them, you just love them because it's such a good one. You know, bringing your cup of coffee over and sit down and have a good conversation with you, sometimes it's quite nice. Excited by action and being free to be creative. One of the big fears of a blue is not being liked because they're so much fun. They can't understand why people wouldn't like them. But as you look at the other personalities, like a red, it would probably drive a red mad if they were around a blue all the time. Because they go, well, you know, just get on with it. Just get on with what you're doing. And the blues go, no, let's go and have a drink first. You know? Let's make it more fun. And strives for recognition and applause. So if you're dealing with any of the blues, you just be free, you know. And if you're not a blue and you're one of the other quiet ones, well, just enjoy the moment. That's all I can say. This are spontaneous and feeling based. Blues love it, you know. Love to be spontaneous. It's the way to go. This is their animals.
Is it a hyena?
Hyena, snake and a dolphin. I don't know where that came from. That's what they said. And a monkey, of course. We have to have a monkey. Got to have a monkey. We're the only ones with a monkey. Right. The next one we're going to get into is the greens. Now, we need greens. I can find a green a little bit annoying, but we actually need greens, and I better get going. Their pace is a bit slower and systematic, and they want to be right. So you see on an opposite scale, if you have a red and a green here, a red person kind of needs a green to kind of ground them a bit. And a red is fast. As a green's a bit slower, you know, calm down. But they also want to be right. So you can imagine a red and a green both wanting to be right. They like people to be prepared and precise. And that's very important to a green, as it is to a red. Planning, processes and systems are a specialty. So if you're a yellow person, if you're a blue personality, it's really good to have a green one around you. Because especially in your business, so as your business grows, think about the kind of people you want around you. You need a green. It's going to pay your tax, help you work out your taxes, maybe, and pay your taxes, make you get on the right track, because they like systems and all that sort of thing. Don't like to be wrong and embarrassed. Very like a red, but a quiet version of the red. A green is a quiet version of a red. Correct, precise, efficient, well-read usually, conscientious, dependable and organised, problem solvers, and they have great follow-through skills, planners, persistent, very neat and committed. And you just look at them and go, yeah, they're quite boring actually. Well, yes, but they're actually really nice. They're a little boring, and they like to have a blue around them to keep them fun. Paralysis by overanalysis, that's critical and very cautious. That's definitely a greenie. Perfectionist, easily depressed. You just think about that. If you know people around you that get depressed, think about this. Blues can often be depressed as well. Blues can hit the wall very quickly because their need for fun, but not everyone, if they get knocked back by someone who may be a different personality type and knocked back enough times by that person, then they can get quite depressed. So, you know, just keep an eye on these personalities, the greens and the blues. Yep, just look at that. A perfectionist, easily depressed, withdrawn from others, pessimistic and sceptical. And it's very interesting, as I've looked at some people I know who, you know, over the years who've committed suicide, they're very similar to this. So I don't know why, it's just, yeah, the way it is. But they're also revenge seekers. which is quite interesting. Not everyone, of course. Just remember this, okay? Not everyone. This is a broad overview. And details, facts, analysing figures, you can work out what their jobs will be or what their businesses will be. Being on time, right, accurate and precise. That's a green. Things are scheduled, there's order and structure, and if you're married to a green and you fight all the time because you're not organised and they are, this is probably a green. And you're a blue and you're trying to have fun and they're going, no, you can't just jump in the car and go for a drive in the... We didn't organise it. You know, there was no schedule, it wasn't there. There's no order in this, there's no structure. No, we can't do that. I know people like that.
Be a very good thing to work out before you're going to go and tie the knot.
That's a very good thing.
A very, really good thing to work out.
Oh, it is. It's very helpful.
Because you can actually, same with your team members, you can actually go, right, okay, I've identified this now. How can we,
How can we make it work?
Yeah, really, I know that's how they tick, so this is probably how I have to address it.
So the whole thing is they're very organised, a green person, very organised. They don't like being wrong. They're very well, usually a green personality is well read, as opposed to a red, read, R-E-A-D, as opposed to a red person who may not be so well read, but just thinks they know the answer. And they're right anyway. Whereas green is usually a quiet person who will sit down and read a book. So disorganisation, obnoxious people, people who are not on time and pushy people, they don't like all that sort of stuff. And so when you're talking to a green, slow your pace down. If you're a blue and you're going to a green to show them, and you realise that they're quite calm, you said, what do you do for a job? And they go, accountant. Well, you know, depending, but most times just...
Calm the farm?
It's calm the farm, yeah. Don't have too much fun. And you need to be organised. Okay, if you get pushed back by the person and you weren't organised, you deserve that that pushback. You know, be organised. Don't be obnoxious. Don't be loud. Just be calm. Spontaneity, surprises, I don't like. So don't just rock up their place and say, "Oh, I thought I'd come round and do your demo." Not going to work. So their occupations, statisticians, engineers, accountants, important people that we need in our world and in our lives. As I say, not all greens are like that, but generally. Excited by logic and reason, so that if you can take them some PubMed information that you've printed off, right, they'll be probably the only ones that will read it. Yeah, that's right. Take them around 500 pages and they'll sit down and they'll read every bit. And they'll come to you and they'll say, do you realise this? And you go, no. Because you didn't read it, you see. Fears, being illogical and irrational, that's just not them. Strives for accuracy and precision. Just remember this amongst your family, amongst your friends, your husband, your partners, your children, and the people that you see every day in your life, whatever you're doing. Decisions are slow and analytical. You know those people that you go to see and they ask you, have you got any information? It's online, you know, and then they read all the wrong stuff. You want them to go to the right place. And the little animals for there, we've got an owl, and I can't see that one, it's in front of it, and a giraffe. I do love giraffes. Now, the last one is a yellow, and my mother was a yellow. Oh, dear. These are interesting too, but lovely. We need the yellows. They mostly make up the volunteer world. The yellow will make up often the volunteers. The pace is slow and relaxed to a point. They want to be accepted, and usually are because of their kindness and goodness to other people. Like people to be pleasant. They don't want to rock the boat, and you probably all know people like that. Why doesn't she say something? No, doesn't want to rock the boat. Calm, just calm the farm. Keep it that way. But as my mother would do, she would help people out. She would be driving them here, driving them there, and she'd, everyone say, "Oh, Mrs. Hall, you're so wonderful, you're so kind," and she'd say, "Oh, that's a good thing." And then she'd get home and go, "Oh, that Mrs. So-and-so, she's such a whiner." She's having hysterics. I thought, that doesn't even make any sense. One minute you're saying, oh, you're so lovely, this is whatever. And the next minute she's saying, oh, she's such a whiner. And she's no time. Support is their specialty, but they will often go home and moan to you later on. Don't like conflict or risk. Nah. Their strengths, they're easy to get along with. They're great listeners. We love these people. Loyal, you can't beat it. Dedicated, love to help. Team players, you'll find there's a lot of yellows in our movement. Huge amount of yellows. They want to help people, you see. Yellows want to help people. They want to save the world. Yeah, a peaceful demeanour, patient, quality people. They're nurturing, supporting, loyal and dedicated. The funny thing with the yellow is they're not very good at making decisions. So when I was manager of the Salvation Army family stores, mostly made up of volunteers, we could have 30 there in a day, and you'd go, okay, I'd say, I'm going to buy your morning tea. What do you want to eat? No one would make a decision. They would just sit around, and no one would be wanting to make that decision because they didn't want to put another person out. So in the end, I'd say, do you want pizza? And they'd all say, yes, thank you. Because they just kind of, just didn't want to upset anyone. They're overly sensitive, take things personally. They do, but they're wonderful. They don't want to rock the boat. And so be aware of this when you're selling them a machine, because they'll go, oh, that lovely lady came to sell me a machine and I thought I'd buy it off her because she's so nice. Be really careful of that. Unassertive, usually walked all over, and it's true. Not goal-orientated, just go with the flow. If you say pizza, we say pizza. So if you get a whole lot of them and you say, let's go out for lunch, where should we go? No one. You might find one, but usually they can't make a decision. You want someone stronger to stand up and make the decision for them. So they just love peace and happiness, animals and harmony. See, I think it was the yellow that fought up the animals. They're tree huggers, and they just want peace in the world. They want us to stop throwing out plastic bottles. I want that anyway. They want, they just about cry over their whole focus at the moment for some of them is just the planet. They can't get past the planet, or their whole focus is 5G and they can't get past 5G. That's the whole focus. And that's kind of, hard for them. They like to help and give to others. They're great volunteers. They like getting to know people. Oh, honestly, they're wonderful. If you want, find a yellow if you need to sit them down. If you've got someone sitting down and you need someone to sit with them and have a wee chat with them, find a yellow. That's why they're wonderful in the hospitals. The yellows, they'll go and sit with the people who are waiting in the hospital. They're wonderful. They'll watch the sunset over the ocean. They just love joy and peace. They don't like, they get so bullied often, the yellows, for a red, because they'll see a red and they'll go, oh, I can help them, because they look a bit overworked. But the red will crush them and crush their spirits. So they can be quite hurt. They like loud and obnoxious people. So when you are with a yellow, just slow it down. Don't be too loud. They do like a bit of fun, but just keep that in mind. Or snap if pushed too far and for too long. They can't bear the rainforest being destroyed, killing animals. It's not on. They cry every time the TV brings on the children. Save the children, anything like that. They're probably the biggest group of donators to them is the yellows, because they're so lovely. The teachers, social workers, Peace Corps, all that sort of thing. So you'll find that many of the teachers are yellow personalities. They're also a lot of fun, but they are yellow because they want to save the planet. They want to help everybody. Tranquility, stability and harmony. Yep. And that's why a lot of teachers really struggle with what's going on, because within, the whole striking thing and just the way the whole education board is working is because this doesn't add up to them. This is not within their personality. They just like tranquility, stability and harmony. So it's quite difficult. They're also nurses. You'll find they're nurses as well. Don't like sudden changes, and they strive for acceptance of others. Usually we love them because they're so lovely. And the decisions, a bit like the green, are often slower. Their little animals are, oh, we have a deer. and a very, very slow turtle. Oh, and a koala. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't even know. So that's just a real overview of the different personalities, and I'm sure you've probably worked out a little bit of how you are. But really the key is to be a rainbow. And as I got older and I saw this, I decided that I needed to be more of a rainbow. So I can walk quite safely beside a yellow 87-year-old lady who's yellow in personality, quite quiet. You know, I can walk beside her and go and talk about the things that are important to her or him, as well as I can be as good as a blue person, you know, or I can work with a red. I can be a red, I can be a blue, I can be a yellow, and I can be a green. I can be all of them, and that's the key, to be able to be all of them, of each of them, so that you can work with people, with your teenagers, with your partners, with your children's new partner or new boyfriend or new girlfriend. You know, it's just a matter of working together. Go, okay, what are they? Where do they sit? It's a bit hard with some of the young people today because they grunt. They grunt a lot. They don't actually say much, they grunt. So the way to work it out is maybe read the messages on their cell phone, if you dare. But it is quite difficult because a lot of them, I find, do grunt, and it's kind of hard to try and work out where they fit in. But the best idea is to be a rainbow, have a little of each of these personality types in us so that we can communicate and we can work. I've had to learn systems because I've run my own businesses. Now, my personality type, not very good at running a business because we're too all over the place. But I knew that, and I put people in beside me who were the opposites to me, and they could help me build my business. And when you're going to build your team, you probably don't want all yellow personalities in your team, although they'll be lovely and it'll be all la la la, it'll be beautiful. You do need to have a good overall group of people. They say opposites attract. Opposites always argue a lot too. They can. So you just have to be aware of it. And I'm, as I said, I'm not putting you all in a box because I don't know you all anyway. But it's just really good to understand how this works together. And what really brought me to it, as I was saying years ago, I was a business mentor with a big company, and I went into this particular company. They asked me to come in and sort it out because it was having a few issues. And I went in there, and the lady said to me, the boss said to me, look, I've got a truck driver and I've got a person in the accounts department, and both of them hate their jobs. And I said, why do they hate their jobs? And she said, well, the truck driver, this is a short version of it, the truck driver absolutely hates people. And he has to go and deliver these goods, and he can't stand having to talk to the people. And I said, so what's the story with the accountant? The accountant hates being locked away. They want to get out of there. They want to talk to people. They want to be fun. They want to go out and have some fun. And I said, okay, can they be swapped? Can you swap the accounting person out of the accountants department and put them in the truck and take the truck driver out and put them in the accounts? Because to me, that's the kind of personality they had. The truck driver was more of a green to me. And so she said, oh, she said, that might work. Anyway, about a month down the track, they had worked the process through, and both of them switched. So the truck driver became the accounting person, and the accounting person became the truck driver. Beautiful relationship. It was fantastic. They managed to sort them out and keep them in their business, keep them in the company because they liked them. But the people just didn't like their jobs. So it's important to put people where they belong. So I'm not sure that's a rainbow. Yes, got back there. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. I just think it's a really cool way to be able to look at life and look at people. We don't have to change ourselves particularly, but we need to change our behaviour maybe when we're with different kinds of people. Hey, Kelly. Absolutely.
That was fabulous. Yeah. How true is this? You know, even when we ran our event, you know, I'm thinking, all right, who do I need at the door? You know, actually, who do I need running the Shopify? Because it gets demanding, it gets full on. It's like it was like, okay, I need a red personality in there, because it has to be done, decisions need to be made, and it needs to be quick. And I was like, Nikki, my friend, perfect. You know, she's not fully red, but she's very red, and she's all about decisions. You know, she'll ask me something and she just wants a straight up answer. She's one of my team members that I know that, you know, when she wants she's got a question, she wants an answer now, and it's no fluffy. It's just, I want to know, and why, and can we change it, and it needs to be like this, so what can we do to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and you can feel quite around a red, because for me, I've just learnt to bring out my red, because I've had to in situations, especially in the last 6 months, in situations where I've actually had to, but it's been good, because then I go, no, okay, no, I know what I need to do to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
You know, don't bring in my blue or my yellow, like just just deal with it that way, and they'll respond. And now I'm finding the response is better, and everything else. But yeah, she handled that shock really well. No one else I know probably would have done it the way that she did, because it was full
very good
and very systems, very systems orientated. So yeah, and it's really good if you can really think about applying that, just having a think about people that you're working really close with, and go, all right, I can see a bit of this and a bit of that, and how, and how you can kind of tailor make your advice or however you're going to train or whatever you're going to do to suit that personality. Because it sure is interesting. There was a time there where I had to really get into, especially before the event, there was just so many things that needed to be done. Like, there was just so many things. I was like, all right. I said to Gail, I rang her, I said, I'm getting my green on. I'm going green today. So I had my whiteboard. I've got my whiteboard up there on my wall, at all times. And I listed out my create list. I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I was like, all right, get green today and stop everything else, And I just went boom, 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 boom. All right, that's what it feels like to be a green. I'm boring.
It's focused, isn't it? It's
focus. Yeah, it's just full focus when you do that. But you do it and you get stuff done, right?
Yeah.
So, you need to bring out your green when you need to do your taxes, all those other things that we need to implement into our business. Because I know there's a lot of people in our team that haven't put that money aside for the taxes. They haven't done any, they haven't been keeping their receipts. They haven't done, we can claim so much. Start doing it. Oh, man, get your green on and start filing those things away,
Get your green on. And get your blue on to go and have fun. And if you're not blue, you probably have a friend who's a bit blue. And sometimes you're feeling a bit down. Hey, we all have those moments when we're feeling a bit. You need to ring up a blue. Find a blue and say, let me take you to lunch, or let me take you out somewhere. Just go somewhere. Just go with a blue. Have a good laugh. And if you've got something that needs to be done and it's big and it requires a bit of a red, find a red to go with you, to help you. Not to be rude, not that, but to just say, turn left, let's go, let's do this job. Once we've done it, let's go and have a cup of coffee, or let's go down to the beach, or let's go do something a bit more funner. And, reward yourself if you've had to change colours. If you're not red and you've had to go red, if you do a good job, sometimes when people go red but they're actually yellow, let's just say they're yellow, but they have to be a red because they've got to go and sort this thing out with Vodafone, and Vodafone have been stuffing them around for so long, and it requires you to go in with a bit more force rather than go quiet yellow. And so if you can't find someone to go with you, you just have to say, I've got to get my red on, but be nice red. Don't. Yeah,
you can still be
red. You can be red, but you can be a nice red where you say, this is what's happened. Facts, facts, facts. Yeah. That's your red side. Facts, 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 facts. That's all I want to hear, not your whole story. Don't become a blue and tell a whole story. Facts, 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 facts. That's being red. what can we do about this? And if they don't go with the week, what can you do? How can you fix this for me? Because this is getting traumatic. So you bring in that, this is what I need done. Help me. And so you need to do that. Don't go and want, like, and just say, well, can you sort this out in 2?
Yeah. Just get your red on, get your blue on, get your yellow, get your green, whatever it needs to be for the different types of things, you know. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's helped me a lot in the last 6 months as well. So yeah, which is great. And you know, this video, this webinar will be a really good thing for training for your teams to go, all right, tell me what you think, you know, where do you sit, you think, you know. It's fun too. It's really fun. So I know I was awesome.